So this week's theme's playing from full guard, and we're going to set up a couple of different game plans as far as initiating from the full guard, our goals and objectives from both points of view, and I'm going to keep a pretty clear path about what the goals are. So one of the things for me is if I'm on the bottom full guard, I understand it's quite difficult for my partner to open up my legs if I have the intent just to hold them. I also understand that I have to be active, otherwise I get called for stalling. So I've got to play this kind of game that's between. So the thing that I'm kind of covering at the moment is I don't want you guys just to open your legs for the sake of opening your legs. And if you are going to open your guard up and expose your guard, make sure you have something in place to attack with. Like a sweep, an arm bar, a triangle. So we don't want to just kind of open up our legs and, hey, let's see what's going on. We want to have our grips in place and our body in place so that when we do open it up, we're ready to attack. The theory behind that is if I'm constantly attacking you, you're defending, which means that you're behind the game and I can impose my game on you. Okay, Marcus inside my full guard. The theory is, this is one of the first and most important parts of the full guard is the grip fighting. And I don't want to just, got my grips, because unless I can do something with them, they're null and void. So this becomes a bit of a game where my partner's trying to get their grips so that they're in a good position to pass the guard, stand up, etc. Where I'm in a position where I'm trying to get the best grips to sweep, attack, wrestle up, whatever like that. The key indicator is I do want to kind of get position so it's hard for my partner to get posture. That's the number one goal, and I don't want to open up legs. So what we normally do is we kind of go hand to the collar and grip, and now we get our collar and sleeve grip. This is the most common grip we're going to get. Mark doing exactly the right thing where he's trying to grip break on this. Now I want to explain a couple of things to you guys, right? When I grip, if I just grip with a C grip, this is quite easy for Michael to break. So I'm trying to C grip and I'm trying to turn my hand in. This means that his posture's already down. What I said is they try and pull, but the C grip mechanic's quite a weak mechanic. So sometimes when you're wrestling people and they've got the same grip, but why is it hard to break the grip? Sometimes why is it easy to break the grip? So what I grip is I'm trying to get my elbow down so it's carrying the weight. Secondly is that this is a much harder grip to break than if I'm pulling forward. So grip, elbow down. As my partner goes to grip fight, I'm just going to go into the elbow. The reason why I go into the elbow is I can control both legs. If I'm on the wrist, Mike can still put his elbow on the ground, put the elbow on the inside of my leg, so he has choices. So I'm just going to get my grip here. I'm going to force it. So how do I force it? It says I jam my arm up against it and I push the arm in. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put a frame system in from here. My partner's got a couple of choices from here. What I generally find is that they post out so they get a base first of all, so it's hard for them. That's that's the deal from here. Secondly, he says, now I pull my top leg forward, slap on the back, close the guard. Good night. Elbows come together and the choke's pretty much up. So for me, this is my go-to. This is one I hit this a lot, even in competition, because they're doing the correct thing, but we're playing the game. So I'm just going to turn you sideways a little bit. Okay, so when we grip from here, come around, if you can't see guys, come around here. So my bottom hand, my right hand opens up the collar, left hand goes in, and I drop my elbow down nice and tight. Grip, turn my hip, hoist, swing my body, bring my leg up on top. The part that I see people misunderstand about the choke is this. Pull this in. Now, I'm not pulling my elbows to my belt, I'm pulling his head over. So there's no space for him to be able to hand fight, and the choke comes on super fast. I see people go elbows to the belt. The trouble is he's still got the ability to hand fight. Where if I pull the head over, this is really hard for him to hand fight. And the choke comes on super fast because now he's bearing my weight as well. So open up the collar, hand goes in, good grip, elbow goes down, my elbow. As the hands fights, get a grip, move off to the side. As I'm doing this is push, knee to chest, swing, slap on the back. Rehash, pull his head forward, squeeze. And the choke should come on in about 2 or 3 seconds. It's a really fast choke. We're making sure it's the wrists on the carotid to choke. So I'm inside Steve's guard, and what I want to do from here is, ideally, I want to have my hand on his chest to stop him from sitting up, my hand on his hips to control his legs. So if Steve does get my arm across the body and goes for an arm bar, while I control the hips, it's very hard for him to do the arm bar, put pressure on it. It's also hard for him to do the triangle, it's also hard for him to do the sweep because the weight's on it. So once I'm here, and Steve does the correct thing where he opens up my collar and puts his hand in to do the choke. Right. So if you think about it this way, right? Anytime that I turn my head this side, Steve gets access to the choke. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my body as far away on the opposite side as possible. Right? So if you think about it this way, is Steve's got the good grips, and I'm not going to defend the choke right now. I'm going to push on this hand here, so my right hand and my right leg slides backwards. So even if he doesn't open the guard, this is actually quite hard to hold by the way because of the angle. If Steve tries to throw his secondary hand up for the choke, right, so once I've got the distance management, my left leg now slides backwards. So now I can start to initiate the pass. And so like, it's really weird. What people think they can do is once I pass guard, they believe they can still choke. Because they go, I've got my hand so deep inside the collar, I don't want to let it go, like it's there. So when I'm passing, first thing I do is I put my head to this side. So as he goes to choke, the hand's on the wrong side. And secondly, if you see what's happening is they put their back on the ground to do the choke, which makes it easier to pass the guard because I dropped easy. And then I just keep my head as far away as possible. So this is one of the things I started to do. Once I'm inside the guard and people feed the collar, I go hand, and I'm trying to get my right hand close to the armpit and my right leg. So my right hand close to the armpit, my right leg goes backwards. I'm trying to be at this distance from here. And even if they've got too long arms, very long arms, and they try and do it, right, try and choke me, it's really hard for them to. The second thing is because they've kind of come offside, the guard's a little bit weaker to do. So this gives me the option to now start to open. And I'd normally pass head to that side to control them, but I'm going to go step and push my head to this side nice and low. So they might be able to try and get the choke from here, but I'm still going to be looking to pass the guard and keep it offside. So just a little nice way that I use to mitigate the choke mechanic. Just kind of giving you guys the whole key to my game. Hope none of my competitors are watching this video, you dastards. Okay, so number one is right hand, hands not on the chest, right hand to the armpit. The same side goes backwards and I look this way. Right. And I kind of, yeah, nice. Once he's here, once he's committed the hand to the choke, start to open up legs. And you don't see it, but if I start to walk to my right, there's a bit of pressure on the guard as well because I'm splitting him up. Pop your leg, keep your hip wide. This means that it's very hard for Steve to go to the full guard or half guard because I've kind of got him pinned. Right, here, my head turns to this side, my knee hits the ground, and I pass over. And we're in the kind of the position that we were before. The downfall for Steve is that his hands are on the wrong side now. So for him to do the sweeps that we did last week of the reversals, he has to rehash his hands the whole way, which means that I'm going to try and beat you to the punch. So this will kind of lead into what we did last week, but we're kind of beating the system. How'd that feel? Ian? Yeah, so system once again is I get the grip, turn it down. Corey's smarter than the average bear, so he starts to turn his head away and starts to do the defense that we've kind of done from here, hand in the armpit. I go underneath. Let's just start my fast way. So the issue is, even if Corey's hosts, I'm going to get access to secondary attacks. Right. So what I mean, slow motion, grip it up, here, elbow down, and as I'm hunting, Corey moves away from here. And I know that this hand's going to go to push my leg down to try and pass the guard. So the first thing I need to do is I need to create space. Because once my hips hit the ground, I can't put my hand under. Secondly is I need to be offside, I need to kind of trap this up. So what I'm doing is I'm doing about 3 motions at once. It's number 1, raise my hips, pull my elbow down onto his hand, and swing. So he can pull the right hand out to post if he wants to, right? Yep, I swing back. and just play the game. So we've got this ability to cut, and I'm not really opening my guard up. I'm not giving Corey the chance to pass the guard. I'm playing quite this really like tic-tac-toe offside game, where he either gets swept, choked, or doesn't do anything. So the concept once again, heavy grip. From here I can't get it. So as Corey's trying to like pass the guard, I've got it raised. Now watch, I'll move my head to the side and come under, nice and deep. I'm not trying to pull the leg to my head, I'm trying to take my head to the leg. Because his weight's on his knee, this is really hard to move the knee. And what I see people do is they do like the pendulum. So they go, haha, put the downfall about now is that Corey's got the option to pass the guard and he's got a lot more because my legs are open. So I do try and keep my legs closed on this. What I'm doing is my elbow comes down, so this will help try to keep the balance on, and I'll pull forward. So all his weight's on me. Now, once we're here, the kick, what I like to do is just put my hand straight through and go straight back into my choke. So I'm keeping the hand inside the collar as a secondary backup. It allows me to attack. The theory behind this once again is if I'm on Corey's throat choking him, he'll be more interested in being alive and not dying because of the choke than throwing me off mount. So the hands will normally come to defend the choke, which means I can consolidate my mounted position. One more time. Does that kind of make sense? So from here, let's go grip, collar, hand in, go to choke. Corey moves his head out the way, raise my hips, turn off offside, make sure my elbow's in. And look, you can post me do this in a second. Pull forwards, over, turn. So my hand's still inside the collar. I like to put a fist onto the ground from here. I don't go to the collar, just a fist, and I just start to drop my elbow down. The choke's a relatively good choke. The reason why I put my fist in is because it's easy to do. Every time I try and put my hand in, I'll raise up. So here, if Corey does go, I'm going to bridge, I have the ability, because I'm not committed inside the gi, to post. Once I'm committed inside the gi, I'll lose my base a little bit. If you don't like the fist on the ground, just put your elbow down. It does exactly the same thing. How's that feel? Nice. Okay, 1, 2, 3. When I start plays, it's more to get an action reaction out of my opponent, and it would be that I get a better attack system because they're defending. So it's a really interesting gameplay. I'll go Nick, please, inside my full guard, Professor Nick. How cool is that, Professor Nick? So yeah, jump down this side, easy to see, guys. So I'm inside the collar, and what's happening is Nick's got a really good posture, so I can only get a low grip. I can't get a grip that's threatening enough to be a choke. And the thing about it is, even if I elbow down now, because it's below the shoulder line, this is really hard to break my partner down. So and it's kind of almost a waste for me, to be honest. Like it might kind of go, well, it might stop him from standing, but like I've got to expend a lot of energy to do this. So I want to go get the two hands and pull, so Nick has to put his weight on me to keep posture, change my grip to the sleeve. Right, so like because if I just go, I'll go to sleeve, he goes, no you won't. I'll go to sleeve. No, yeah, like, so if I kind of go here, he goes, I'll get, all right, okay, I can get it. So I kind of want to make him commit to the posture. Side note, I like side notes. If I'm here and Nick goes, oh, what's he going to do? I'll let Adam break me down because the grip's so bad. Anyway, what's he going to do? So it goes on, thumb goes in the back, lasso, and the choke is legit. So we'll kind of cover that, not today, but if you don't defend it, I am going to lasso choke you. The lasso choke, I don't need it to be deep. It's a really fast choke. I like it a lot. Okay. So we're here. Nick goes, no. I'm like, man, so keep hold, grip. This is the part that I see a lot of people have issues with. This is when I raise my hips and put my hand down, if I put my bum back down, we're still centre line and his post system is still very good. So what I'm doing from here is I'm raising and I'm doing an abdominal crunch. So he almost falls in the valley. He almost does the work for me. So I see people kind of go here and they go like, and you know, like Nick's go, I've got good posture. It's really hard to do it. And you know, I'm going to go with the arms halfway across the body. I might be able to get an arm bar, might be able to get a triangle. Haha, Nick goes, idiot. And he can now pass my guard. Instead, if I kind of go like, pull, grip, raise my hips, abdominal crunch. His weight almost does the work for me. I do like to keep the leg, and I do like to kind of come offside. This makes it very hard for him to rescue into guard or half guard. Secondly, it's really weird. People try and pry this hand off, which gives me a really good mount. So for me, it's just like more about being offside. So I don't want to be under my partner where his frame system is stronger than my movement. Okay? So hips, watch, side, feet not undone, hand goes under. Come through, Spider-Man pose, up nice and high. And the deal on this one is, as we're fighting here, Nick goes, get rid of it, get rid of it. I go, hand goes in here. And now, the hand he needs to defend the choke is down here. I'm feeling pretty good right now. How'd that feel? Great. That's what I'm after. Okay, incoming. Sorry. Okay, switch my feet. Right. So we do the grip, pull down, C pushes down, and then get the C grip from here. Okay. So I raise my hips and I try and go under. If I can get all the way through to the other thing pads, it's good. Now, think about it, if this leg's crossed over, I actually can't swing because I'm locked into position. Where if this leg's over, I can actually start to swing. So what I want to do is, if I have my feet this way, it's harder for me to get to mount because it's locked behind. Where if this leg's in front, it's easier to get to mount. So sometimes what I see is people when they get this move is they've got the guard, they swing here, they're like, look, how can I take that leg high when it's caught underneath that? So it's such a small detail. So what I say is if I'm here and I kind of go, I'm having trouble, just switch your legs. And I've gone the far leg, so see this is bottom in the air, I've gone to the far leg. So what I'm doing, I'm basically pulling and I'm pulling Steve's legs out from underneath him and comes over. So this is another mechanic as well. And because his legs are crossed, I get a really good mount and a really good twist on it as well. You might not be able to get that all the time, but this is important. But this is really important, right? Like this one of the things that like I didn't appreciate it until like really like probably black belt days, and I'm like, oh, that's so interesting. And there'll be times I'm here, I'm like, okay, and I'm like, and there are weights on me. I'm like, come on. I'm like, man, you know, he's weight's too good. He's too good at jiu-jitsu. He is. But if I recross, you're going to find I get these levers so much better to be able to move my partner from here. And then I can kick it, yes you can, tap the leg, come over, Spider-Man, thumb goes in, your choice. Oh. So just play on that foot motion, guys, and you're going to find like one of them that will make it really easy, the other one will hinder the way you move. 1, 2, 3. Little details.